Hello students, welcome to the class of Pole Science of 12 Arts, and today we will start with another new topic, that is South Asia. That means, what do you mean by South Asia and which are the countries that are included in South Asia? So let's proceed then. South Asia includes countries like Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, the Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. So total number of countries, as you can see, there are 7 number of countries in an alphabetic order. That starts with Bangladesh, then comes Bhutan, after that number 3 is India, number 4 is the Maldives, number 5th is Nepal, number 6th Pakistan, and last but not the least, number 7 is Sri Lanka. So these 7 countries are known as the South Asian countries or known as the South Asia. Clear? After that, it has mighty Himalayas in the north, Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal in the south, west and east respectively. That means the characteristics of South Asia is it has mighty Himalayas in the north. In the northern side, it is surrounded by the Himalayas. Clear? Then in the south, it is surrounded by Arabian Sea. In the south, it is surrounded by the Indian Ocean. After that, in the western side, it is surrounded by Arabian Sea. And in the eastern side, it is surrounded by the Bay of Bengal. Clear? Starting from the east, it is surrounded by Bay of Bengal. Then to the west, it is Arabian Sea. In the north, it has Himalayas. And in the south, it has Indian Ocean. So these are the features related to South Asian countries. After that, Afghanistan and Myanmar are often discussed to be included as a part of the region, and whereas China is an important player but is not considered to be part of the South Asian region. Therefore, South Asia especially means the 7 countries mentioned above. Clear? Now, apart from these 7 countries, namely Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, the Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka, the other countries are also there, like Afghanistan and Myanmar. These 2 countries are there on which the discussions are being done to include these 2 countries also along with the other 7 countries. But Afghanistan and Myanmar have not been included yet as the South Asian region or the South Asian countries. They are being discussed to be included, but they are not been included till date. Clear? And whereas China is an important player, but it is not considered to be the part of South Asian region. And along with that, along with Afghanistan and Myanmar, one more country is there, and that country is China. And China is an important player in terms of economic development, in terms of other developments also. China is important, but China is not considered to be a part of the South Asian region. That means what? China may be an economically developed country, but then also it is not preferred to be included in the South Asian region. It will not be included. But Afghanistan and Myanmar may be included after discussions. It may be included or it may not be included, but they have a chance. But China don't have the chance to be included in the part of or as the South Asian region. Clear? Therefore, South Asia especially means the 7 countries mentioned above. Therefore, if we talk about South Asia, that will include what? That will include that will include Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, the Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. So South Asia as a whole is regarded as these 7 countries. Clear? So let's move on to next point. South Asia has linguistic, social and cultural distinctiveness and yet constitutes one geopolitical space. After that, what is the another characteristics or features of South Asia? That it has linguistic, social and cultural distinctiveness and yet constitutes one geopolitical space. That means what? It has different language, clear, then it has different society and it has different cultures. So as a whole, the 7 countries of South Asian region have different language of their own country, they have different social sphere, they have different cultures, but then also being so much difference in terms of cultures, society and language, they constitute one geopolitical space. That means geographically also and politically also they constitute one geopolitical space. They are close to each other. Clear? Out of the 7 countries of South Asia, India and Sri Lanka have successfully operated a democratic form of government, whereas Pakistan and Bangladesh have experienced both civilian and military rules. Clear? So we will try to understand line by line. Out of these 7 countries of the South Asia, you can say that India and Sri Lanka have successfully operated a democratic form of government. That means what? It has a democratic form of government, or you can say that India and Sri Lanka follows what? Democracy. Out of these 7. So 2, you can say India and Sri Lanka are having democratic form of government, whereas Pakistan and Bangladesh have experienced both civilian and military rules. And in case of Pakistan and Bangladesh, what is the case over their country? They have experienced what? Both civilian and military rules. That means you can say that they have actually gone through democratic form of government also and sometimes military rules also, which is elaborated country wise. How they have experienced this civilian and military rules. Each and every country's story is being elaborated in this chapter, which we will read afterwards. Clear? So India and Sri Lanka have democratic form of government, and Pakistan and Bangladesh have experienced both civilian, that means democratic form of government also, and sometimes military rules also. You can say that sometimes it was ruling with the democratic form of government, then suddenly the military comes and overtakes from the democratically formed government, and then military rules started to rule. Clear? After that, on the other hand, Nepal was a constitutional monarchy, and in 2006 it was restored with the system of democracy after the protest of the people. Now, talking about Nepal, which is the 5th country in our list. So Nepal was what? A constitutional monarchy. Until 2006, it was having monarchy in which the king was supreme. But in 2006, it was restored with the system of democracy after the protest of the people. But after the people started protesting, and they demanded that the people over Nepal demanded that the system to rule the country should be the democracy, not the monarchy. Because in monarchy, the king will take decisions according to his or her own wish, the king or queen, whoever it is. So that's why, that was the reason that in 2006, a large number of people gathered and protested, and they demanded that democracy should be restored. And due to this protest in 2006, Nepal was restored with the system of democracy. That means you can say that by 2006 and onwards, democracy was started. The democratic form of government was started in Nepal. Now, Bhutan, after that, Bhutan is still a monarchy, but it is leading towards establishing the multi-party democracy. Clear? Now, reading about number 6 country in South Asia, that is Bhutan. Bhutan is still a monarchy, that means the monarchical system is there, in which the king is the supreme, but it is thinking, or it is leading towards establishing the multi-party democracy, and Bhutan is also thinking of setting up the democratic form of government, in which there will be what? Multi-party democracy. That means more than one party will be there. Multi-party democracy, the benefit is that if you have multi-party democracy in our country, just assume like country like India, we have multi-party democracy where Congress, BJP and other parties are also there. So what is the advantage of that multi-party democracy? That people can choose from the various party the leaders which they think that the leader is good for the country. There is always an option left in the multi-party democracy, because you have lots and lots of parties from which you can choose any of the party to lead the country. So Bhutan is also thinking to set up that only multi-party democracy. Last but not the least, the Maldives, the island nation, was a sultanate till 1968. Now, reading about the last place, that is number 7, the Maldives. It is what? It is an island nation, but it was a sultanate till 1968. Clear? Just like the king's rule, the Sultan ruled the Maldives, which is an island nation, till 1968. It was known as sultanate, and it was transformed into a republic with presidential form of government. Clear? That means it was sultanate till 1968, and after 1968 it was transformed into what? A republican country, Republic of Maldives. With which form of government? With presidential form of government, in which the president will be the head. Clear? In June 2005, the Parliament of Maldives introduced multi-party system when opposition parties were legalized. So here you can see that 3 phases was actually there in the case of Maldives. Firstly, Maldives was an island nation which was a sultanate till 1968. Clear? After 1968, it was transformed. It was changed into a Republic of Maldives, and the form of government preferred over there was presidential form of government from 1968 till 2005. Again in June 2005, the Parliament of Maldives introduced multi-party system when opposition parties were legalized. And after that, this presidential form of government was there. After that, June 2005, the Parliament of Maldives passed what? A bill or a law in which multi-party system was legalized. Earlier it was only one party system, but after that multi-party system was legalized. That means it was legal to introduce multi-party system. That means the Maldives can have now different political parties in their form of government, and this was done in the year 2005 in the month of June. Clear? So you can see here that all the 7 countries included in South Asia are, how many countries are democratic then? India, Sri Lanka, and you can say that Pakistan and Bangladesh is also having that, but the problem is that they are sometimes experiencing the army takeover. That's why it is written that it has experienced both civilian and military rules. Apart from that, Bhutan is also inching towards setting up democracy. Along with that, Nepal is also having democracy, and Maldives is also heading towards multi-party system. So you can say that majority of the countries are preferring democracy over other forms of government, as it is the popular form of government, because people gets the direct chance to elect their leaders, which is very transparent in nature. So that's why democracy is always preferred in each and every country in the world. So regarding South Asia, today we have learned about the number of countries. It is 7, and the name of countries starting from Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, the Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. After that, we have read about the features or the Himalayas surrounding from the north to the Bay of Bengal surrounding in the east. After that, we have also read about which are the other 2 or 3 countries that are discussed to be included in as a part of South Asia, and why China is not considered to be a part of South Asian countries. After that, we have read about the South Asian countries have differences in language, society and culture. Then also they share one geopolitical space. Then we have read about the story of these 7 countries and the form of government that they have actually, like was democratic form of government, presidential form of government or monarchical form of government. Clear? So I hope that whatever the points I have made you understand today, it is now very much clear regarding the topic South Asia. Now next, as I have told you that we will start with each and every country's story, and firstly we will begin with the story of Pakistan in our next lesson. So winding up today's topic, thank you.